So hello and welcome to youthsaga.com. Today we have with us Mr. Edward Durand. He is a very learned person. He has studied philosophy, journalism, parapsychology, and herbalism. So Edward, please welcome to our show.
Thank you for having me. It's good to be here.
Okay. So Edward, how did you acquire so much of knowledge?
Well, it's not just from reading books and doing courses, but I also believe that we can learn from everyone that we meet and everything that happens. We can learn from throughout our whole life, and you can learn from nature as well. So even though I read books and I've attended several courses, most of my knowledge doesn't come from that, but from learning from life.
Okay, that's cool because most of the people I know, they're not able to complete one degree in their entire life. So that's amazing. As we know that you are also a teacher, and it's a very noble profession worldwide and very respectable thing. So what you exactly teaching your students?
Well, I've worked as an English language teacher and cover supervisor, and I've also taught class on environmental awareness for children. What I generally do is I make learning fun for the students. Instead of just talking to them, I play games with them to bring out the knowledge in themselves, to get the student talking and learning and active and doing things in the class. Yes, activities. It makes the children learn much better. So, well, I try to teach wisdom as well. But wisdom is something you can't teach. You have to bring it out in the student. Like Socrates, the great Greek philosopher, he said he was like a midwife. A midwife who helps with the birth of a child. That his method was to ask people questions, and so to bring out the wisdom in themselves in that way, instead of just talking to them, because then they might not learn. Instead, he asked them questions so that they produce the wisdom in themselves.
And as you have a psychology in a subject, you understand the student psychology very well, I hope.
Yes, I haven't studied a psychology course, but I do have an interest in psychology, and it does come into my writing and my teaching as well. How people think, and it does certainly come into it.
Okay, fine. Another aspect of your personality that you also love to write poetry, and you have written a book also. So tell us something about your book and where can someone find it?
Okay, well, this is my poetry collection. It's called Deep in the Heart of Nature by Edward Durand. So this would be a collection of 20 years of poetry. Not all in it, but that's about 85 pages of poetry from that time. The first complete collection. I do have a smaller collection published before, which is poems about trees. But this is the complete collection, as in from my whole life. So how I made it was I put borders around the poems to make them look beautiful, ones in fitting with the theme. So like leaves around it, it's about trees and things like that. Yeah. To make it a beautiful experience to read with the art as well. And poetry is a very a profound medium for kind of transformation into kind of other states consciousness, you could say, how it can help people to see the world in a different way, because it's not like normal prose writing, which is like logical. Poetry goes in a different way. It's not in a line. It moves in a spiral, and it goes all sorts of different ways, and you can have multiple meanings, and it's a way to get deeper. Because with prose, in the logical line, it's kind of a basic, simple meaning. But in order to get deeper, poetry works in a different way, so that the mind can see in a deeper way, and that can be transformative for us. It can work through emotions, work through the minds, and enable us to see the world in a different way.
Okay, and it shows that you love towards the nature. You are a nature lover.
Yes, nature would be a common theme with my poetry.
Yes.
Because I do, my poetry is also kind of spiritual, and because for me nature is spiritual, and so to combine those with my poetry to try and show the spirituality of nature with poetry.
Okay.
So the best place to get the book would be on website lulu.com. If you go on lulu.com and type in Edward Durand, Durand, or Deep in the Heart of Nature, then you will find the book. That's the best place to get that. It's also on Amazon and elsewhere, but the best place to get it is on Lulu. It has both my books and information about it, and you can preview the first few pages of it there.
So it will be, I can remember it easily because my nickname is Lulu.
Oh, okay. Very good. Yeah.
Yeah. So easy to remember with lulu.com because my family call me Lulu all the time. So I can remember it very easily.
Right.
Okay. So well, that's good.
I saw yesterday, I just moved back to my hometown of Sligo, where the famous poet William Butler Yeats is from. And I was in the town yesterday, and I saw they also have a statue now of Rabindranath Tagore, the great Indian poet. And I was pleasantly surprised to see that in my hometown. We also have a statue of Yeats because he lived here, wrote a lot of poetry about here. But I was pleasantly surprised to see that Indian poet here as well.
Yeah. And he's the first poet who got the Nobel Prize for the literature.
Yes, that's right. And Yeats, the poet who lived here, he also won the Nobel Prize of Literature as well.
Yeah. That's great to know that. That's a good information. Because I haven't visited Ireland before. That's a wonderful information I could collect from you.
Yeah.
Well,
it's a very interesting part of Ireland to visit here at Sligo. It's on the west coast, and there's a lot of ancient sites and mountains, waterfalls and lakes and forests and interesting places to see.
Yes. That's amazing. And when you got the opportunity, then we'll be there, of course, in the future. So thank you very much. So then my next question will be, what is your next project going to be? So what do you have planned for the next project?
Yes, well, I'm writing a book at the moment on life hacks, tips of practical wisdom to improve your life. So it has different categories. Each chapter has different category of these tips, like practical hacks, psychological hacks, interpersonal relationship hacks, ecological hacks, household hacks, health healing, and first aid hacks, diet and nutrition hacks. So each chapter has a different category of all these tips to help you do things, and how to make things, and to improve your life.
Yeah, that's great. That's great that you are always get busy with doing something else. You're writing new content all the time.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. I just came to know that you are also running a YouTube channel.
Yes, I have a
So,
YouTube channel for my poetry, where I make videos of the poems. Um, Sometimes with the poem on the screen, sometimes I speak the poem, um, and with background music and beautiful images and ways to show poetry. It's a nice way to experience the poetry because
yeah,
you get it there, and then you might get another bit of poetry after, and with beautiful music and images, and you don't have to turn the page, but you can pause it if you wanted to. But it's a nice way to experience that. The poetry channel is called Edward Durand Poetry,
okay,
and you can find it there.
okay, fine. Because that is another form of express your art in the form of
Yeah,
audio and video. Yeah, that's a good,
yeah,
wonderful medium, and the whole globe can see you there.
yes.
Yeah, that's right. Finally, I want to ask my final question. That what is your message to the new authors who want to make their career as author writing?
Okay. Well, there's a lot of people writing at the moment, so it's not easy to get to. It's not easy to make a living out of it, and it's not easy to get a publishing contract. A lot of people are self-publishing these days as well, and some people are choosing to self-publish because you get more creative control and a more better percentage of the royalties. But then you have to do the marketing as well. So I think my advice would be to see what the world needs that you can provide in terms of ideas or whatever. Like I only write non-fiction, poetry, and children's books. A lot of people write fiction. That's not my genre. I can't really advise them on that. But certainly in terms of kind of things I write, like non-fiction, poetry, and children's books, that my advice would be to see how you can help people, because people need help at this time, and not just comfort, but the way they can to improve their life, because it's a difficult time, and so people need all the help they can get, and they can, and books are a good way to help people transform themselves, into who they want to be. And so that is something which us writers can help people with.
And here in India, youth losing their patience to read more. So this is a not good sign
Mm.
for the youth. So please
Yeah.
say something about our youth, that how will be the increase their reading habits.
Well, it's good to cultivate good habits. There's a lot of wisdom in India. If people practice yoga, that can help them, and things like that. There's a lot of wisdom in India. I can't. I can't teach India, because India has the wisdom already. But yes, there are a lot of troubles in the world, and it'd be good if people don't kind of struggle to. They don't need to fight. Sometimes they need to fight in a way, but generally not in a physical way. It's usually not needed. And even with dealing with other people, we generally don't need to argue with other people as well, because if someone has an idea about us and it's not true and they won't listen, then there's no point if they won't listen. Yeah, we can just leave it. So it's good to be at peace. Yeah, and not stress and struggle. If people can just go within, they could meditate, enjoy nature, enjoy poetry, music, and they have a much better life than if they're fighting and struggling and stressing and worrying about everything. You know, they can't find a peace through these things.
Okay, nice, Edward. It's really amazing to talking to you, and we knew your projects and your thoughts and point of views on your writings and on your all your life. So we are really amazed and really happy to be with us. Thank you very much to be with us, and
Yeah,
we
thanks
are
for
wishing
having
you
me.
yes, and we wish you a very successful life in future, and good luck.
Well, thank you. You too. And enjoy the poetry if you find it.
Yeah, sure. Thank you very much.